What up everyone, it's your man XMan87 here, bringing you another DC Multiverse video, and what I have for you today is we'll be going over the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse San Diego Comic-Con 2023 reveals. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's talk about it. So the DC Multiverse panel was okay, some pretty exciting stuff for me, mainly because we're finally getting more characters in their classic depictions over the more modern takes that McFarlane normally prioritizes in his main line of DC Multiverse. So there's a mix of movies, TV, cartoons, and comics, a little bit for everyone here. No video games though, which makes me sad as I wanted more figures from the Arkham games, but hey, maybe another time. Some of these screen grabs are from Toy Shiz, so shout out to him. I think his real name is Jordan. I only met him once at Toy Fair 2020. He approached me and we chatted, and he's a cool dude, great guy. So if you want more in-depth info from the entirety of the McFarlane Toys San Diego Comic-Con panel, then go to his YouTube channel as he covered everything else. I'm just focusing on what I collect from the new reveals, and that's some DC Multiverse. So without further ado, here we go. The first panel showed off Summer 2023 wave with some stuff we've already seen before: Superman, Classic Detective Batman, Batwing, Two-Face Batman, and Tim Drake Robin. I don't think I want any of these. Maybe the Tim Drake Robin, but I think he could have came out a little bit better instead of being his red suit repaint. Wasn't really feeling that one. Two-Face looks good. The Detective Batman, I'll just wait for Mafex Nightfall Batman, as Mafex is where I get my main DC fix. Don't like the Superman. I think Batwing is the coolest looking figure out of all of these. The 2023 fall wave has a classic Riddler in the spandex suit, which I think looks awesome, and he'll have his cane with a few hands. Batman Hush in the black has to be the best regular looking Batman in the line. I think it looks very good. Jim Gordon Batman is fine. I prefer the Mattel one because you can actually put his head onto the rookie Bat Armor Build-A-Figure with his chest exposed. It was a pretty cool figure, and I like the way how they made those two figures interact with each other. That was a great option. Don't know if he'll have something to offer like that in a mega figure, but that would be smart if he does have that in store. Then the Night Armored Batman from the new Dark Knights of Steel storyline. This looks tough. I like it, but way too many Batman alternate costumes in one wave, taking up slots for other characters that need love in the line. The Gold Label exclusives has some pretty solid offerings that I'm excited about. A classic Black Lightning, which is set to be a Walmart exclusive, and he looks good. I like the lightning belt sculpted on him. I think the head sculpt came out nice too. Vampire Green Lantern, which has the armored lantern body and not the smoothed out one. Don't care for this at all. As a big Green Lantern fan, I do not care for anything vampiric added to his mythos. Another Walmart exclusive. Supergirl in her blue and red is going to be a Target exclusive. I prefer Supergirl with the mini skirt and bare legs showing than these red tights. The face is looking good, so hopefully the final product will deliver. Then my favorite out of these gold labels is Catman. Hell yeah. He's actually available right now on the McFarlane Toys website, as that's their exclusive. They had high-res promo images of him, and he looks so badass. I had the Mattel DCUC one, hoping they would complete the Secret 6 team, but they never did. I can't rely on McFarlane for team completions at all, but I can never say no to a Catman figure. Love that he has his claws. This is definitely one of his best comic figures of the year. Here are some more store exclusives from the gold labels. Not my thing here, but if you are into these kind of variations, then this is for you. The glow-in-the-dark Green Lantern caught my eye because, well, one, I love Green Lantern, but secondly, it's a glow-in-the-dark, which is so fitting for a Green Lantern figure, and I'm sure it must look so cool. One of the worst movies I've ever seen, but never thought they would make for some great action figures, is the Batman and Robin movie from the 90s. I actually enjoyed the toys more when I was a kid instead of that movie, but here I am, finding some piece of nostalgia from those toys within these, and I can't lie to you if I didn't tell you that there wasn't this bit of temptation in my soul that wants these. I should be ashamed for wanting these, but not ashamed at the same time. Why do I want these? Well, I guess that's just the kid in me, and I have to embrace it because I can't help to say that these figures are awesome. We get George Clooney Batman in all his bat nipples suit glory. Uma Thurman Poison Ivy, hell yeah, she was the best thing about that movie for me. And her costume, the vines, the red hair, just screams Poison Ivy. Alicia Silverstone Batgirl and Chris O'Donnell's Robin are looking pretty good, but hopefully the final product delivers, as I'm worried about the execution on their faces. The Alicia likeness is not all there for me. It is a bath wave, and the bath will be Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. They could have went with that terrible looking Bane for a bath, but this was the main villain of the film, and it's the one to go with. Man, I'm forever haunted by Arnold's Mr. Freeze voice and his puns. As corny as they were, they still make me laugh to this day. The bodywork for the sculpting is all there, not just for him, but everyone else. Just need to see accessories, but I'm surprisingly impressed by the way all these came out. We get the Collector's Edition series, which Wave 1 was pure utter caca. $30 premium price, and you still get barely any accessories, less than the bare minimum. The Basin trading card needs to go, as he should just focus on giving us more paint and accessories, because the sculpt is always going to be there for McFarlane toys. No doubt about that. Wave 1 had first appearance Superman, Abyss, and Alan Scott Green Lantern. However, the next wave is more promising, at least with character selection. No word or images on accessories yet, so hopefully he gives us more for that price instead of less than the bare minimum again. They did say it'll come with more accessories this time, so we'll know soon enough. See, Hasbro isn't the only ones I get on. It's simple. If you are not giving us what's worth pound for pound, then I'm calling out the BS. Anyways, I'm really stoked for these. A classic Firestorm, which the accessories need to be on point for effects. He looks so damn good. Hawkman, who looks like a straight up beast. I gotta agree with Toyshiz that he has that Total Justice look. First thing I said to myself when I saw it too. Those dark blue pants and just darker color scheme overall. Total Justice was my favorite DC line of the 90s. So yeah, I'm getting the vibes here, and I think I'm gonna cop this. Then you got Sinestro in his Sinestro Core costume, which is my favorite look of the character. I'm sure they'll repaint him in his classic black and blue. This wave is 3 for 3 in my book. All hits, not one miss. Next up is one of the worst decisions this company can make, and that's an NFT line. So it's going to be a wave that has a Build-A-Digital character than a Build-A-Figure. If you thought Hasbro small Build-A-Figures were a bad idea, then nah, this is worse. I can forgive them over this bullshit right here because you get nothing physical. The figures in the wave, however, are physical, so at least you can have a figure to hold in your hand. The best one out of this wave is a classic Wonder Woman. Finally, a classic Wonder Woman for this line. This is the look everyone wanted. Her head sculpt looks stunning, and hopefully she'll have some wondrous articulation to go along with it. The entire wave is only 3 figures with another Batman, that's a variant, and a classic Aquaman look sporting the long hair. Each of these figures will come with their own individual NFT that'll serve like an avatar. So Wonder Woman, you'll get her more classical look with the long skirt, but each will have a digital piece to build a digital Starro. Jeez, man, that is the worst concept ever. This isn't going to work out for them. Honestly, he should have done a JLA box set covering that look of the comic featuring all the characters here against Starro. Would have been a nice way to release a bigger Starro over that small bath in the Crime Syndicate wave. Anyways, Wonder Woman will be the must-buy for anyone who wants this version or is trying to complete a classic Justice League team for DC Multiverse. Then Batman the Animated Series from the DC Collectibles or DC Direct line will be reissued under the DC Multiverse brand as Todd McFarlane took over the DC Direct line. It starts with Batman, Robin, Scarecrow, and Mr. Freeze, and a figure I wouldn't expect to be the first bath for a Batman the Animated Series wave, but it's Condiment King. And I'm all for that since they've never really made a Condiment King figure. I don't remember the DC Collectibles line having one, but I could be wrong. No, I'm pretty sure they didn't because I had most of them. These look good for the most part. I like Batman. I think Robin's arms are way too long. They need to fix that. I wonder why they gave him an ab crunch, but not Batman. My favorite look of Scarecrow in the series. Mr. Freeze needs his dome and his arms are also too long like Robin's. Gotta love Condiment King with his ketchup and mustard blasters. Overall, this is good, and those that missed out on the original run will get a chance to get the figures they couldn't get before. They just need to tweak the articulation for the reissue to make a better purchase this time around. And another good thing is that we can get new characters that never made it into the line the first time, like say a Red Claw. The Bat Cycle is going to be reissued from the DC Collectibles line that had a helmeted version of Batman and a wired cape. The vehicle will have lights in it, so this always made for a nice display piece. Also, a Batman movie Anthology multi-pack was revealed featuring all 6 live-action movie Batmans. In this pack, you'll get Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and Robert Pattinson under the cape and cowl in figure form. You'll also get bases for each, no additional hands at all. The main accessory here is the light-up bat signal with interchangeable discs to display whichever logo you want. This is already available on Amazon. We get a DC Multiverse Batman and Spawn 2-pack that was displayed at San Diego Comic-Con. Not much included at all in here. A Batarang for Batman and a big-ass sword for Spawn. I think that Batman is a repaint. Looks familiar, but let me know as I can't tell. Then Spawn, I believe, is from one of his Mortal Kombat figures. Speaking of Spawn, I know it's not DC Multiverse related, but since it's McFarlane Toys related, and I just went over a Spawn pack, Todd McFarlane announced he's going to do another Kickstarter, and this time it's Medieval Spawn. This is my favorite alternate Spawn costume, but seriously though, this doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why a multi-million-dollar company needs to do a Kickstarter for a basic-ass figure. Someone can try to convince me, but I'm still not buying the reason. There's not a reasonable excuse for it. I understand if it's a smaller, unknown independent company, but not a company as big as McFarlane Toys. I can understand if it was a gigantic figure like Malebolgia, but not a little 7-inch figure. He doesn't even have real chain links. It looks awesome, but not crowdfunder worthy awesome. His first remastered Spawn that was a Kickstarter, okay fine. I understood as that was a way to kind of introduce his new Spawn line under the new 22 plus POA scheme. But now that he has a Spawn line, he could have just put it under his main line. His remastered figure disappointed me, pulling off a bait and switch and robbing us from some articulation points, and didn't come out the way it was first revealed as promised. His feminine A pose ruined it for me. We'll see how this one does, but as badass as it looks, I'm not excited for it. It might be another overpriced figure that can't pose well. But if you're excited for it, then I'm happy for you. Now to wrap up my final thoughts, I thought DC Multiverse had an okay showing. A lot of what they showed here is how the line should have originally started with more classic characters and looks over the modern ones. What hurts them here is that a lot of these classic versions collectors have been asking for are exclusives, which should be in the main line. Also, not showing accessories hurts them too, so as far as reveals go, they are at the bottom of the barrel over Comic-Con weekend. If I had to rank my favorite Comic-Con week reveals from some brands, well, G.I. Joe was number 1 in reveals for me. Then Mafex takes second. I know they weren't at San Diego Comic-Con as I'm just going off the week, but sure as hell felt like they were there with all those glorious reveals. Marvel Legends takes 3rd place for me, Jada Toys 4th, then DC Multiverse 5th place. That's not to say DC Multiverse did bad at all. Again, I like what they showed, but they still need to find a better structure. They're a little too all over the place with these different levels of series, from Ultra to Signature to NFT to Gold labels and such. It needs to be a little more linear. However, with more classic offerings, I think it's a step in the right direction, and that'll shape things up to make the line look better than it ever has before. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think of the DC Multiverse San Diego Comic-Con reveals? What were your favorite DC Multiverse figures out of these reveals? Mine was the classic Wonder Woman. Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching another DC Multiverse video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xman87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace.